All right, we are recording. So I always start these off and I start off with like our team shout outs. So usually I do like the whoever hit bonuses or ranks for the week. But since it's the end of the month, I want to do whoever hit something for the month because August was an amazing month. So I just want to take a minute and shout you guys out because you guys have worked so hard this month. Just in the last week, we have 7 new 4Ks, and I think 8 is getting ready to come in the last week and a half. So Shalina, Aaron, Michelle, Jeremy, Kim Weatherly, and Angie all hit 4K in the past week and a half and got your $1,000 in extra credits. And you guys, that is freaking fabulous. Like $1,000 is going to help you guys build your business so much, and you're going to be able to do so much with that. And I'm so excited for you. A few of those were Kelly Carico's too. Aaron and Angie both were on Kelly's team, and she helped them get to 4K. And I think she has another 4K that's getting ready to hit tonight, Melanie. So like y'all, incredible. Kelly's husband, Tim, also hit 12K. I said 10K. He hit 12K this past week. So Kelly just earned her second auto bonus in her household. So like guys, to think that we have been doing this less than 4 months and people are changing lives that quickly, like it's mind blowing to me. Like you guys blow my mind daily. So I'm so proud of all of you. That was just like, I just went over the last week and a half. Like that doesn't even count like the people who have hit VIPs earlier in the month. I didn't write those down today. But you guys have just been killing it. And I'm so proud of you. But I want to introduce to you guys Le-Vel Millionaire and 200K leader, Kindra Morse. She is fabulous. I love listening to her talk. She is in our way up line. But she is always there to help whenever I need anything. It doesn't matter that I'm so far down below. She doesn't care. She's just the sweetest. And today I've asked her to talk to us about mindset and goal setting. Since we're starting September tomorrow, I thought the perfect topic would be setting goals for the new month, as well as getting your mindset right and just having that positive mindset and kind of throwing away the negativity and the negative thoughts that might enter your mind, such as I can't, or, just the normal things. So Kindra, inspire us, dear.
Oh my gosh. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for that introduction. So kind of mind blowing. It's actually I'm almost to $2 million in earnings with Le-Vel. It's just like, I have a hard time even believing it myself. Kind of, I'm like, I don't even, I'm not a special human being. I'm a normal person. I'm a mom. I am so, scatterbrained. I am not organized. I am kind of a dreamer. I have always kind of been an optimistic, kind of a dreamer type person, but I did not start this thinking I'm going to be a millionaire with Le-Vel and I'm going to be super successful. Like, I want you guys to understand that when I got started, when I said yes, it was literally like, I just want to be able to buy groceries and put gas in my car. So when we talk about goal setting and where you want to be, I want you guys to really think about short-term and long-term. So it's so important to have tangible goals, but you have to have short-term goals that keep you in the doing what you need to be doing every single day, but you need to have long-term goals that keep you focused consistently for the big picture. And you have to ride the waves. You have to ride the weeks. You have to, every day, you guys are probably checking your daily orders, right? Like you guys go and every single day you check where you're at for the day. And some days you have, let's say, if you just hit 4K, probably like $600 one day. And then the next year, like $400 in sales, right? And then the next day it's like $900. That's how this business goes long term. It is not a straight line up, and it's never just stays. If you don't have the reason that you're doing this that's pushing you, if you don't have that, you won't stay long term. So who was on my, when I did a training last week, I don't want to cover this again, but I don't know if I see different names. Anybody? No hands. No one knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Were you on that? Did you jump on that, Jasmine?
I think so.
Oh, you're muted.
I think so.
You think so? So when I went through what your wish is, the actual acronym WHOOP,
Oh,
and
no.
how you have to go through it in layers.
I didn't hop on that.
That's okay. Yeah. That's awesome. That's totally, I'm excited because it's something that I think if you really dive into this, it's so much deeper than you could ever imagine. So whoop or poop. Do you want at the end of, let's say a year from now, you want to be saying, whoop, whoop, I'm so excited about my business and where I'm at? Or do you want to look back and be like, oh, it's a poopy last year? So, and I want to share really quick a story about where I was at when this shift happened for me. So I had been a part of this company for a whole lot of success. When I say I hit VIP 800, it was I barely hit VIP 800. I had my husband order, my sister order, I think my mom and like one of my best friends, and none of them, the two, I don't even remember which two were promoters. They weren't promoting. So you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like you hit it, but nothing happened after that because there wasn't actual people wanting to promote. I think I got a $25 check. Nothing was really happening in my business because I was taking shortcuts, because I was doing the things that I was comfortable doing. I was doing most of the steps that I was taught to follow to have success, right? And what happened was I realized I only have so much money in my bank account. If I don't figure out how to make this work, in 6 months, I'm going to be putting my kids in daycare and going back to a job I don't miss at all, like not even a little bit. And so for me, it was a matter of I want to try to paint the picture of where I was at. We lived in a little tiny house, 1,400 square foot, 55-year-old farmhouse. We had wood heat. Literally twice during the night in the winter, we would have to stoke the fire to stay warm. We were not living like a fabulous life by any means. It was quaint and it was content life, you know. But where we were at was if I didn't make this happen, then I would be losing what I had. So I'd be losing the fact that I had been home with my kids for the 3 months before when I started Thrive. I was home on maternity leave and I started thriving at the end of that maternity leave. And so I was already home. I'd already been home and I see a little baby. Oh my gosh, you like want to hold your baby. That's how old I think I'm guessing like 2 months old maybe. That's how my little boy was. And I was like, there's no way I can hand this baby over to somebody else. There's no way that I can let somebody else be mom. There's no way I can let somebody else see his firsts and be the person that's loving on him and taking care of him. And so what happened was I had kind of a meeting in the mirror, like I have got to figure out. So what I want you guys to think about before we go into the whoop is what hurts you. Your why, you hear like a why, it needs to be something that makes you cry, but what hurts you? What is hurting you in your life right now that you want to change? Or if you could, let's put it this way. If you found the genie in a bottle and the genie came out, right? You have the genie in the bottle and you got to make one wish. What would that wish be? What would it be if you could only pick one thing that you could have for sure? Would it be, a lot of people say financial security and financial freedom, right? I just want to have financial freedom. I don't want to be burdened by how am I going to pay these bills or how am I going to make this happen, right? But I want you guys to think about, and if you have a pen and a paper, write this down. Think about, like, I'm looking at my list right now. So, and financial security is what I wrote down first when I did this exercise myself. But I went further. Why do I want financial security, right? Well, I want to pay off my home. Okay, well, why do you want to pay off your home? For me, I want to ensure that I get to stay home with my kids until they're all graduated high school, which my youngest is only 3. So long-term, like super long-term, right? Why do I want to stay home with my kids? I want to be the one that's there for them when they get out of school, if they go back to school. I want to be the one that's there with them that gets to help them solve problems. I want to be the one that's there to build a relationship with them so that when they have tough choices to make, they come to me and they share them with me and they let me have influence over them, right? If you guys have older kids, you might understand a little bit more about that. Jamie's been an amazing resource as far as raising older kids and learning about what it's like as they get older and realizing that at a certain point, you can't just control you can control toddlers, right? You can control little children. You cannot control teenagers. You can try, but it's all about relationships as they become older. And I have found that a friend told me this a long time ago. If you're home, like a lot of people want to be home with their kids when they're little babies and they figure I'll work when they're in school, right? You want to be home with your kids when they're coming home from school at the end of the day, because that's when they're going to tell you this happened and this happened and this happened. And my oldest is 12, almost 13. He's going into 7th grade. And it's 100% true. When he would come home from school, up until now that they don't go, he would tell me about all kinds of things. And this happened, and I played with so-and-so, or I talked to so-and-so, or so-and-so said this, and all of the things, whether it was good or bad. And then after 4:30 or 5 o'clock and ask, how was your day? It was fine. How many of you guys have older kids this day? It was fine. When you get home from work, how was school? It was fine. You have to be there before they've processed through all of those hard things to be able to truly help them. So I'm kind of on a tangent a little bit. That's something that's super, super, super important to me. And show others that it's possible. Prove that what I believe in is true, and lead others to the same freedoms. So I want you guys to really think about, like, why, when you're looking at goal setting, you have to know why. Why do you want that as a goal? It can't be a Maserati. It can't. Financial freedom, what does that mean to you, right? What does that actually mean? I don't have too much month at the end of the money. Anyone have that? Have you ever heard that before? It's never fun to have too much month at the end of the money where you have to wait until the next month to start doing fun things again. So I want you guys to think about that. And then I want you guys to really think about the outcome of if that wish came true for you. If that narrowed down, really dialed in wish came true for you, what would that outcome mean? How would it make you feel? Like, really, for me, I would be fulfilling my purpose. I am satisfied that I'm making an impact on others. I am showing my kids a better way and showing them what's possible. Those are the things that I would feel by accomplishing the wish that I have, right? And then I want you guys to think about obstacles. So what are the obstacles? What is it that has stopped you up till this point from achieving whatever it is that you have set as a goal up till this point? Write down those obstacles. If you don't write them down and identify them, then you will never be able to truly break free, get over them. Like, you've got to understand exactly what it is. And if it's lack of action, if it's overthinking, if it's fear of failure, fear of success, fear of not being enough, fear of speaking to strangers, you have to know what those obstacles are in order to plow through them. You're not going to just plow through them without really identifying what they are. And then reach out to one of us. If you have a fear of something that you are struggling with working through that, reach out to us. I would love to do a whole thing on fear and what it actually is, and like diving into why it's there. And then make a plan. So this is the last WOOP. P is make a plan. What's your plan? Like, what are you going to do to accomplish your wish, to get to that place, right? And who are you going to lock arms with? Who are you going to have as an accountability partner? Who are you going to bounce ideas off of? One thing that's super, super, super important, and this is going to shift into the mindset stuff a little bit, is perspective. Perspective is everything. And if you have a mentor that you can say, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm struggling with, this is where I'm a little bit stuck, this is where I'm having some fear, that person will give you the perspective that you need to make action, to take action, to move towards wherever it is that you want to go. So as far as goal setting goes, really think about, what are your goals for September? We have a new product, it sounds like, launching. We'll find out more tomorrow night. I'm so excited. We have a training with Paul and Jason tomorrow night. But it could be a massive, massive, massive month for you if you work it right, if you have a plan, if you are taking action daily. So, and also I want you guys to know that September, October, November, August, just so you guys know, you guys are freaking rock stars, because August and December are, as an industry, not a company thing, but as an industry, those 2 months are the toughest months to build this business in. The absolute toughest months to build this business in. And you guys are rock stars, hitting ranks and achieving a ton in one of the toughest months to build. September, October, November, they are historically the 3 biggest months to be building this business in, because typically kids are going back to school. So that might be a little bit of a challenge, but typically summer's winding down. It's starting to get dark earlier. People are starting to feel like, okay, I need to be working on something. I'm not going to just be at the lake and the beach all day. It's a time where people start dialing in. They start thinking about Christmas. They start thinking about, how am I going to buy all the Christmas gifts? They start thinking about all these things. So if you really take massive action over the next 90 days, I'm telling you, I remember it was August when I was told, if I put my head down and worked really hard and stayed focused, I hit 4K and 12K in August, the year that I got started. And I was told I could be 200K by Christmas. And I remember thinking at first, no way. And then it's almost like you can always see double where you are. So when you hit 4K, all of a sudden it's like, I think I could do that again twice over and be 12K, right? And then when you hit 12K, you think, okay, I could do that again twice over and be 40K. You can always kind of see about double where you are. And I ended up I hit 200K 2 days after Christmas on December 27th of that year in my 5th month. So it's so doable for all of you that just hit 4K this last month, 12K this last month. It's so doable. So make a plan and decide, okay, what do I want to have accomplished in the month of September? And then what do I want to have accomplished at the end of this next 90-day run, the end of November or December 31st? What do I want to have done by December 31st? And then, so the other thing I want to talk about with mindset, it's along the same lines as perspective. We all sometimes get stuck in what you are looking at isn't the truth. It's what you believe is the truth. It's what you believe is the truth based on the filters that you have, what you have seen in your life. And so the truths that you know are not going to be the same truths that other people know. And that's where a mentor, somebody that has gone where you want to go, has accomplished what you want to accomplish, that is speaking truth. There's two people will either give you advice or they will give you an opinion. Advice is based on, this is what I've done, this is what I know, and this is the experience that I have. Opinion is really think about, where is your advice coming from? Who are you reaching out to? Who are you asking? What is a different perspective for this? And then the thing that I want you guys to also think about is, it's like you get to decide what you contrast everything with, right? So if something happened today, it was a hard day, or it was a frustrating, let's say you sent out 10 messages today and you got all 10 no's, which never happens. You'll never get 10 no's. You'll get some no's. We all get no's, but you'll never get 10 no's. You might get 10 no responses, but never 10 no's. But let's say you have 10 no's. The whole thing with contrast perspective is you get to decide what you compare this day with. Today, the day that you had today, you get to decide, do you compare this day to one of the days from your honeymoon when you were on the beach in Mexico, which was an awesome day, to a worse day? You get to decide. You guys always get to decide, what contrast am I going to give the experience that I'm having right now? What contrast am I going to choose to apply to this current situation? So if you can learn to contrast your current situation to something, make it in your favor, choose it to be something that, and I'm trying to think of a really good example. I don't know if you guys know Peter Sage, but he wrote a book called The Inside Track, and it's like such an incredible book. Like I couldn't recommend it enough as far as a mindset book to listen to. He is kind of like Europe's Tony Robbins. He's very much like Tony Robbins. He's very experienced though, and he's had a ton of success. If all of a sudden Tony Robbins got thrown in jail, you'd probably be shocked, right? So he got thrown in jail because of like a tax fraud thing. It's a weird story, and it's almost like um, he talks about it in the book, and I don't fully understand it because their laws are different, and how they go to jail and all of that is so different in Europe. But basically, he went to jail without a trial, without any kind of actual like due process, and then he was stuck there for like 12 weeks or something without any kind of anything. And he's the only, in this certain jail, he's the only non-criminal, which means like he hadn't committed like murder or robbery or anything like that. It was like a tax thing. He was the only one in this entire prison that wasn't a criminal. And the whole book is all about how he chose to apply all of the things that he's taught. So think about Tony Robbins applying all of the things that he's always taught to all these people in his situation. And he chose to see, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to get out of this? But also, who am I supposed to help by being in this situation? Who am I supposed to influence for a better situation because of the situation that I'm in? Why am I here? What difference am I supposed to make? What impact am I supposed to make from this? And he talks about, so one example, I actually heard him talk about this recently on a podcast. He had done this like I don't even know what, like hike across the Sahara Desert for days and days and days, where you have to choose what you pack, and you can pack, the more you pack, the warmer you'll be at night, but the less you pack, you'll have more energy throughout the day, but then you'll be colder at night. Like it's this whole thing, kind of like Iron Man, I guess, but somewhere over there. It's hard to compare things a little bit, but what he talked about was when he was in jail on a cot, and this is a multi-millionaire, like think Tony Robbins level of success. And here he is in jail, living in a little room box with just a mattress, right? And he said, I could choose to say, wow, I wish I was home in my giant bedroom, in my super comfortable bed with my down comforter. Or I could say, you know what? I'm glad I'm here and I'm not in the Sahara Desert freezing my ass off and not sure how I'm going to get through the day tomorrow. Like this is still better than where I have been in the past, right? So it's all about where you're at. It's all about, what do you choose to contrast it with? What are you going to choose to compare it with today? And you get to decide what that is. You always get to decide if you're seeing it as this is better than it's been, or this is the worst it's ever been in my whole entire life, and I've had it so much better. So I want you guys to think about that. The other thing too is you have to make a decision. At the end of the day, all of this completely relies on you making a decision that it's not if, it's when. It can't be if. If it's in your mind that your goals are maybe, you're going to get stumbled. You're going to hit roadblocks that are going to make it very difficult to get past. But if you decide it does not matter what it takes, it doesn't matter. I am going to do this. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to stop those. I know they're super annoying. And maybe after this, I'll have someone that knows how to stop the dings on Mac. But you have to decide. You get to a place, and that's where I was in August of 2014. It was, oh my gosh, if I don't make this happen in 6 months, and same with you, in 6 months, I'm going to look back on this period of time and I'm going to know I either gave it my all and did everything I possibly could, or I remember thinking, I'm not going to look back and regret not doing more. I am not going to look back and be putting my kids in daycare and going back to the bank job that I cannot stand at this point and regret not applying more on a regular basis to build this business. So the things that I did, just to kind of give you guys an idea, because this business it's all about consistency. It is and beautiful and like a fancy, no offense, Jasmine photographer. You do not have to be like amazing with a camera. You don't have to be amazing with words. You don't have to have a fancy house. Like literally for the first 3 years of me building this business, I only had service in 2 little tiny corners of our home. Like I had to have my phone on the windowsill of our master bedroom or on the windowsill of the living room, which was a really small house. It was like just 20 feet apart. But those are the only 2 places in my entire house that I had cell phone service. If my phone was anywhere else in our house, I wouldn't get calls. So, but what I'm trying to say is that you have to just do something in your business every single day to have success. You do not have to work this business 8 hours a day. Obviously you can if you'd like, but you don't have to do so. You can do it sometimes. You can do it full time. You can do it part time. You cannot do it sometimes. You cannot do it on Tuesday for a little while and then maybe on Saturday for a little while. Like you got to be putting into your business. Absolutely be a day that you don't work your business. I'm a big fan of not working on Sundays, but you've got to be consistent and you've got to be persistent, and you cannot have an attachment to the outcome. When you're sending out messages, when you're sending out follow-ups, you cannot have an emotional attachment to whatever it is that's happening in that day. You have to look at it as every day you're planting seeds, you're reaching out. Jim Rohn is another one that I've listened to a bajillion times. I don't know if anyone, have you heard Jim Rohn ever, Jasmine? You have? You're muted. So I'm like, oh, I can see you nodding though. It's Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. I have a CD of Jim's that I've listened to. I am not joking. I've probably lit like 1,000 hours of it because it was in my car and I would listen to it on my way for 4 years. I listened to it on my way to work and from work, like every single day. Most people listen to music, but I listen to this CD and I have the whole thing almost memorized. Jay, I just saw your message. Yeah, I had you with. It is so good. I'll find it. It's in my office here. I'll find it after this and I'll send you a picture, Jasmine. But anyways, he talks about when you're in this business and when you're making contacts, when you're reaching out to people, when you're following up with people, you're always planting seeds, and you're going to have seeds that are planted in rocky ground that aren't going to take off. You're going to have seeds that are planted in dry ground. You're going to have seeds that are planted in ashy ground, all different kinds of ground. But you're also going to have seeds that are planted in amazing ground. And you're going to end up with people like Jamie Lindbergh or Jasmine that are amazing rock star leaders that you never would have ever imagined would be running these huge organizations. Like I know neither one of you ever thought you would ever be in network marketing, right? Did either one of you ever think like, this is what I'm going to do? And now you guys are amazing leaders. And you just never know. You can never prejudge. You never know who might need this. You never know who might be praying for an answer like this. And I know for me, when I first got started and I made my list and I had all the people that I thought for sure were going to be the ones that were going to run with me with this, basically none of them did. And pretty much all of the people that said yes were people that I never would have dreamt would have been the ones to jump in and become rock star leaders and partners in business. So I feel like I've rambled for a really long time now that I look at the clock. So is there anything else that you wanted me to talk about?
I just
can't hear
love
you.
listening to you. You're so insightful. Like, and I could tell everything you say has so much thought behind it. And I love that I can tell that you have really thought about every word that comes out of your mouth. I love that about you. So when you talk about the seeds, and I always think about, like, sometimes I have people that they'll come to me and they'll be like, well, nobody's messaging me. And then I'll look, at their post or their social media and things, and they haven't posted for 5 days. And I'm not picking on any of you because there's more than one of you on this Zoom that has done this with me. So don't think I'm talking about you. But the thing is you're not planting the seeds to get the messages on the days in which you feel like you can work and you have time to work your business. Like if you didn't have time to work Sunday through, Wednesday, and then Thursday you start working and you're wondering why no one's ordering or no one's messaging, It's because you didn't do anything the days prior. You didn't water the plants, they're all dead now. Um, so, I mean, it just comes down to consistency. And when you go into a message with someone, you should automatically be thinking that they're going to buy. And when I am messaging with someone, especially when they've messaged me first, there is no doubt in my mind that that person is going to order when I'm done talking to them. And I think that that mindset is part of the reason that I'm able to close my sales, is because I'm not thinking, oh, well, they may not have the money, or, oh, they have this, and this going on. They won't take it seriously. I don't think anything of them. I just know that they messaged me. So something in their head says that they need this. And so I think that just mindset going into the sale, knowing that, it's going to happen when they message you. And so does anyone have questions for Kindra?
It's funny. If anyone has questions, definitely pop in because I'd love to take questions. But it's funny that you say that as far as the one thing that I've always said is you cannot prejudge people and think what their money mindset is. You can't get in anyone else's wallet. You can't. You have to make sure you stay out of other people's bank accounts. I had a girl, and she's a promoter on my team. She's a great friend. I like her a lot. She's super fun. She's super sweet. But she is a neonatal NICU nurse at a major hospital, makes 6 figures a year, and thinks Thrive is expensive. And I have a gal on my team that donates plasma because she is so broke to buy her Thrive. So you think about what the bank account looks like for the person who is a 6-figure earner, and she is frugal as they come. She's very, very smart with money, and I'm all about we should all learn to be better with money. And her dad is an investor, has a ton of properties, property management, owns a lot of businesses that he rents out to. I mean, they're very, very, very smart. And they're wealthy because they're frugal. But my point is, she has a harder time buying Thrive, even though her bank account is stacked, compared to this other woman who literally has to go donate blood, plasma, to be able to get her Thrive every month. And part of it is that she needs her health. I mean, everyone needs Thrive. Everyone needs Thrive. But it's not expensive to the person that she literally has like no money in her bank account. And you can't put a price tag on it. She doesn't think it's expensive. She thinks it's worth every single penny, and she orders more consistently than the person who makes 6 figures a year. Anyways, reminder that you never know. You cannot house just because that's what you believe. That's your beliefs. If you think it's expensive, if you think it's inexpensive, and I will tell you, if you feel that this product is expensive, get with Jamie or Jasmine, and we will help you with that, because that's a mindset thing too. That if you think it is, then people are going to hear that in your voice. They're absolutely going to feel that and hear that. You're going to not have the same confidence. I know this product is worth every single penny, and I would pay for it over and over and over again, because I do not want to go a day without it ever. Like, no, thank you. If you feel like it's too expensive, you're going to have a lot harder time sharing that with other people. So reach out if you struggle with that, if that's something that you have a hard time with. So go ahead. I don't know if anyone had any questions.
You guys, Kindra is like a wealth of information. So if you have questions, now is your time.
I think my CD is like right underneath. I know.
And I know my internet has
seriously. Noticed that you paused a couple different times as far as like the screen, and I thought, I wonder if that's mine. I hope it's not mine.
No, I think it's me. I messaged Jamie and I asked her, I was like, is Kindra cutting out? Because if not, then it's me. Well,
Well, I'm telling you.
I appreciate you coming on so much and pouring into our team. And we are so lucky to have you and for you to take time out of your evening to do that, because I know that you're so incredibly busy. And I know that I soak up everything that you say. So I'm so thankful for you. And I'm sure that after this, people are going to have questions. And I actually added Kindra into our Team Goat page today. So if you're wanting to get in touch with her after this, it's easy to find her through that page. Am I cutting out again? Because everyone has paused.
I can hear you.
Okay. So if anybody wants to get in touch with her, it's easy to find her through that page. And she always has amazing advice and information to give. Is there anything else that you have to leave us with?
The only thing that I want to say is I feel like I don't know if I really like said it well enough. I'm telling you guys, like when I started this, I remember being shown someone's, oh yay, I have a new customer that just got a product. I remember someone showing me a massive paycheck that they got, and I vividly remember thinking, that's amazing that you could do that. I couldn't do that. I'm not the type of person. I mean, like I could probably like get somewhere close, like in there. Like I am excited about this industry because there's no ceiling. There's literally no ceiling to what you can achieve and accomplish, how big of a network or business you can build. And when you can add duplication and the compound effect, that's what you get in this industry that you don't get in other. In mortgage, we were doing like $4 million a month in loans when I was working at the bank. We were top producers in the whole branch that we were a part of. But every single month, you will go back to zero. There was no compound effect. There was no, like, with this, when you work really hard for 1 month and then you go to the next month and you work really, really hard, you get paid for both months worth of work for only doing 1 month's worth of work. And it compounds and it compounds and it compounds. And I want to share that check that I saw when I thought there was no way I could ever do that, but I'm super excited thinking that maybe if I like shot somewhere in the middle of zero to that, I'd be thrilled. I have personally made way more than that. It was a 5-figure paycheck for 1 week, 5 figures for 1 week. And I surpassed that check by $7,000. Massively. Massively more than I could have ever imagined or ever saw myself being capable of doing that. So I just hope you guys really understand that anybody can do this. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your experience level is. It doesn't matter how much you know about the products. All it matters is how many people do you care about enough to say, I know a lot of people are all about attraction marketing, and I think attraction marketing is awesome. I message people, and I message a lot of people. I have messaged and reached out to a lot of people, and I know not everyone wants to do that, but if you care about them more than you care about what they may think about you, you will change your whole family's trajectory. So I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you so incredibly much. I appreciate your time on here. And if I'm trying to think, Jamie, do you have anything that you want to add? I love that we have so many big you guys are both wealth of information. We are so lucky to have you both here.
Well, first of all, I have to say, yes, I will add because you allowed me to. You guys, Kindra Morse has done over $53 million in sales in her time with Le-Vel. $53 million in team sales. if anybody knows what they're talking about, it's Kindra Morse. so I was super excited and encouraged that she was going to be on tonight. And I just will follow up with what she said. I am getting ready to, I reached out to several people who have one referral today and said, all right, we got to get you one more. We got to get you one more. And I am putting in 2 free accounts right now to get ready for 2 more people to order. So just a reminder, it's, I get it. The attraction marketing thing is big right now. Everybody thinks, oh, put up a post. You have to be reaching out. You have to be connecting to people and saying, hey, I have this amazing product that is changing my life. Are you open to hearing about it? Want to continue to grow your business. So that's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
I'm being beckoned by the little emperor. So, but thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Kendra. And if you guys need anything, I hope that you guys all, as soon as we get off the Zoom, go and set some goals for September and think about your mindset. And I hope that we have the biggest month ever in September. So thank you guys, and I will post this later for everyone. And that's it.